so profanity and or vulgar language will not be allowed.
Chair
we have
Chair
any-
Ebright, Chair
ahead.
Ebright, this is the recording secretary, Pam Karanongan. We have one virtual attendee, Mr. Vishkumar Mehta. So I think he has his virtual hand raised. So let me see if I could figure out how to let him speak. Hold on just a minute.
Good
Mr.
evening, Mayor
Mehta?
Rishran. Yes,
Hi, you have the floor, sir.
thank you very much.
And
Really
you have
appreciate
3
it.
minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, Mayor Rishran, all the commissioners, as well as all the veterans, city staff, and as well as the city liaison. I wanted to mention about the Home Key project. What is the Home Key project? Home Key project is that when a stranded person, when there is no option for that stranded person to live on a street, and then there is no option for him to have a food, clothes, shelter. What is he going to do? Whether he's going to survive on the street, or whether he's going to be helped out by someone that that he could be shelter. That is what the Home Key project is about, sir. It is about the person who is required to be survived. It is about the person who requires to be sheltered when there is no option with him. I request all the veterans and as well as all the commissioners, city staff, city council to consider that, to provide the shelter, and as well as enable the services for the veterans as well to build the Fisher House, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak.
Okay, thank you very much for the input. Next item under consideration, announcements and correspondence. Any?
I'll have a chair if I may. I do want to make an announcement here. I could have saved it till the end, but I'll use the announcements portion here to take just a little bit of time. And really one thing I want to encourage our commissions, public health and safety, as COVID numbers are increasing, and really our hospitalization numbers are increasing, and the hospital capacity to serve. I think we all understand medical from our experiences serving, and how important it is to have enough beds. And so I just want to encourage the commission. I really want to share respectfully with the commission here, commissioners, to continue to be safe and to look after one another. And I know we're all here for each other, and I am here for each person, city staff included. And if we can look out for our fellow veterans as well during this time, not just with the public health, but economically, as long as we continue to know what we are strong for is being united, we'll get through this pandemic. Certainly a critical time in our nation. So thank you for the time, Chair.
Okay, I appreciate that input, Mayor. I'd also like to take this opportunity to congratulate you on your reelection to Mayor of Milpitas.
Thank you very much, sir. I just hope when it's all said and done, the city and our residents will know that I gave my best, and I always and that I always put Milpitas families first. Thank you very much.
Year 2021. Each year, the Veterans Commission accepts nomination forms for the Veteran of the Year. At past meetings, the Veterans Commission has discussed that the current application is hard for people to use, so they have been wanting to update. Staff has added the current form to the City of Milpitas webpage and the Veterans Commission webpage to remain year-round. Recommendations: staff is recommending that the Veterans Commission make updates to the current application, finalize all changes, and have ready to start advertising for Veteran of the Year beginning January 2021. I hope everyone's had a chance to take a look at the form. Does anybody have any comments on that form?
Yeah.
Any comments?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah.
Uh, The form we have before us is, there was some discussion of having some of the lines deleted. For example, it asks for a number of years of military service in the top first box. And it also asks for medals and decorations. And in the past, Ed and I thought that those two lines could be eliminated. In other words, eliminate the line that asks for a number of years of military service, and eliminate the line that asks for medals and decorations. We were not too sure if that information was needed on the application, since we were also requiring that a photocopy of the veterans DD 214 be submitted along with the nomination form. There was also, some discussion that let me stop with that. So that was our first choice, was simply to eliminate those lines and make sure we took the necessary steps to get the photocopy of the DD 214, which we both thought was absolutely necessary to verify the qualifying military service. Now, I understand that some of the older veterans, did not receive DD 214, especially the World War II veterans. Received, separation from active duty documents from their branch of service. But whether it's one of those World War II discharge papers or the current DD 214s, we needed to make sure we got those. So those could be submitted along with the nomination forms. So that was basically where we got in our discussion with changing the nomination form.
Okay, that makes sense to me. The DD 214 was just it lists your dates of service and your medals and decorations that you've received. So that's duplicate information. So I could see where those two lines could be. Well, actually, there's medals and decorations is one line, and then branch of service and then dates. Branch of service would be on the DD 214 too. Was that something we should do then? Get rid of those two lines because the DD 214 is attached or equivalent?
Well, we could do that if the rest of the commission is, goes along with this. I could put something together for the next meeting and send it over to Dale, and he can pass it along to all the commissioners for their review, and perhaps we can discuss it and vote on it at the next meeting.
Vice Chair Choi, the problem with that is your next meeting is not until February. And if we want to get it out at the beginning of the year, it would be January. So I was hoping that we could make some decisions on this tonight as the commission.
Well, we can accept, just because we're changing the form, we doesn't mean we have to, we can still accept all forms, the current form and the new form, if that's necessary, obviously. Or maybe I didn't understand your question there, Dale.
Well, what we're trying to do is simplify this form so we're trying to simplify the form so the residents can nominate the veterans. I think they were having a problem trying to get some of this information, and that's why we weren't getting any nominations for it. So we're just trying to make it an easier process so people will nominate people for the Veteran of the Year.
Yeah, one of the complications, when I was, for example, when I was nominated, the fellow that nominated me called me up one day and just started asking questions, and I just happened to know the guy pretty well, so I figured, okay, well, I'll go along with this. But I had to dig around and find my own DD 214 and submit that. When it was a little clumsy at that point, the whole procedure, because it took the guy who's nominating me and myself, we're both digging around. All he had to do was call me and ask questions. And then I had to turn around and find that DD 214. So, he could proceed with his attempt to nominate me. But in order to make sure that, we're appointing a real legitimate, genuine veteran as the city's Veteran of the Year, we do need to get that DD 214. That's the document. A person with a military ID card, unless it's a retired ID card. Well, that military ID card, is evidence that the person served, but there's no evidence that the person got a good discharge. You could have somebody who spent 20 years, convicted of court-martial, and he might still have, his old military ID card. So the DD 214 is an absolute necessity to be able to provide almost conclusive evidence that the person not only served, but also that the service was a qualifying character, honorable discharge, for example. So I don't know how to get around that. It's, the person who's the veteran needs to, if they're interested, they could, we can contact them and say, hey, look, you've been nominated by someone, and can we get a copy of your DD 214? Some people may want, the newer, the veterans who've served after, I guess, 1969 or 1970 will have their social security numbers on their DD 214. And if they want to redact that information, I don't mind, but but otherwise, the name on that document has to be pretty, reasonably the same as the name that they have now, and the rest of the information should not be, changed or modified in any way.
Well, the DD 214 requirement is still on the form. I mean, we're not going to change that. I don't see a problem with deleting the medals and decorations line though, because that information is repeated on that DD 214.
Yeah, that's correct. Some veterans that I've worked with in the past, they were somewhat reluctant because to have their DD 214 floating around because it had their name and their social security number on it. So for our purposes, I don't see why we would need the social security number, but the rest of the information would be very helpful in the nomination process.
Well, I have to understand that when that DD 214 gets submitted, it's as you mentioned, it's not floated around. That's something that would be taken care of. In fact,
Well,
the
as
DD
I
214
understand it,
provided, I would think would be returned to them.
yeah, as I understand it, when we get these nomination forms and the DD 214s, those go, Dale gets them, and they're reviewed. The nominations are reviewed by a committee made up of the fire chief and the police chief and someone else, I think, right? And who work for the city.
City manager might be on there.
That is true. We try to get department heads that have been in the service so they understand the process.
So where do we stand on altering this form here? Do we want to get rid of the line that says medals and decorations? I don't see any reason to.
No, it's just it's just on the nomination form, asking someone, where we're basically asking for the person's name. The form itself says that the person must reside, the nominee must reside in Milpitas. Ask for the name, ask for the person's address, I suppose, we want to modify it without, we can say we don't need to know about your medals, but if you submit your DD 214 along with the nomination form, we're going to get that information anyway.
Yeah, well, I can see
and so
getting rid of
it makes it a little bit easier for the person who's nominating, the nominator, to basically say, hey, look, I'm going to nominate you, and I got your name and I got your address, and we just need to get a copy of your DD 214 over to the city so they can submit it to the nominate, the select, the committee making the selection, and so it makes the job slightly little, you don't need a lot of that information up front on the nomination form itself. It's the nomination form can be pretty concise, and all the information is going to be on the DD 214. The other information on the nominating form, like, basically, which shows what the person has done since they've gotten out of the service. Something that's how has this person contributed to the Milpitas community? That information can stay, because that's the kind of information that won't be on the DD 214, obviously.
You want to
Commissioner
make a
Ramos, you
motion
had
to,
something to say earlier. Commissioner Ramos has a comment to make.
Yeah, I've got two things. I agree with what you guys are saying right now. I just had two thoughts that came up in my mind is for women, the name on the DD 214 won't necessarily match what their current name is. So I just want to bring that up, that if we're basing their name on the DD 214, that might not be true always for women. And then two, for guard members, sometimes our last DD 214 won't have our active duty if we did active duty and guard. So it might require a couple of DD 214s. So that as far as the dates, it might not be inclusive for guard people. So just bringing those two things up. And just a suggestion in case for the instructions, since it's not always commissioners that will be doing it, could we add like how they could get their DD 214 in case they lost it and don't know how to get a copy?
Does anybody know how that's done?
get a copy of the DD 214?
How to request it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the generally speaking, getting a copy of the DD 214 requires that an application be made. It's usually made on an SF, a standard form SF 180, standard form 180. And when a person looks at that form, they can see in the upper right-hand corner, there's an email address, and the person making the request for the information can email that information to the archives to get the SF, to get the veterans information, or they can just simply mail the form in. And the form has the various addresses that the form needs to be sent to. I say various addresses simply because the archives is trying to be of assistance. You know, they want you to send the request to the right address, but you know, almost any address will do in reality. And it takes, it can take anywhere from a week to 3 months for the form for the information to be received by the person who's requesting it. And there's you know, there's a box on the form which allows the person to choose where the information will be mailed. So when I used to request that information, I would usually have all that stuff sent directly to the veteran, him or herself. And, you know, not to me or anything like that, but to their address. And, you know, if you complete the form and you give the archive people sufficient information, that'll help them make the search, and if it's, or you know, they can get the turnaround time can be very quick. Now, and there's also a way to actually call the archives, telephone them on a 1-800 number, and make a request for the form. Now there's some restrictions in some cases where the archives will not send that information, but I think for our purposes, there should be no problem. If the veteran cannot find his or her DD 214, then I think it would be pretty easy for us to be able to to assist. we can download a copy of the SF-180 and give it to the veteran and say, here, you can order this information yourself, and just make sure we get a copy of it when the stuff comes in. Just give us a photocopy of your SF-180. If they're willing to do that, that'd be great. They get to keep the original, the original certified copy that they get from archives, and they can just simply make a simple photocopy on a copier someplace, and they can submit that copy to the selection committee for Veteran of the Year. Does that help?
What if the veteran that they want to nominate has passed?
I'm sorry, say again?
What if the veteran that they want to nominate has passed away? How do they handle that then if they don't have the DD 214?
I didn't get that.
Okay. So how does someone get the information for a DD 214 if the veteran has passed away and they don't have that information no longer?
Oh, okay. If the veteran has passed away, then a certain people can make a request. For example, a member of the deceased veteran's immediate family, for example, a son or a daughter, a surviving spouse, someone like that. But in that case, the requesting party needs to submit a copy of the death certificate as well.
Can you, Vice Chair, can you send me the email address that they would have to email to so I can add it to the form? So if anybody has a question like that, they can reach out to the right department for that.
Yeah, you can. I can send you that information. You can also just go online, and well, I can email that information to you, Dale.
That'd be great.
And to anyone else on the commission that is interested, because I'm a firm believer personally that every veteran should have a copy of his or her DD 214 someplace, because in my past jobs, I oftentimes would run into folks, surviving members, surviving family members, right after a veteran passed away, and they're asking for assistance, and but they have no idea where the DD 214 is, and they have just some vague information about the veteran's military service, and when these people are trying to make, plans for final arrangements, and they have no information, it's tough, because they have a time schedule to meet, and National Archives is going to just move along, and they follow their own process. And it can take, as I said earlier, it could take them up to 3 months to give you the information. And that 3 months, those cases where it takes 3 months, is usually because there's no detailed information up front.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Okay.
I'm going to call for a motion.
Yeah, so let's see. Do we have any further comment on this form? Okay, if not, does anyone, do we want to change the form as it is right now? I personally don't have a problem in deleting the line that has medals and decorations, because that information is duplicated on the DD 214. and you want to add something about where to go to get a copy of the DD 214. Is that right, Dale?
Correct.
Okay. So that all makes sense to me. Does anybody have any further comments on that?
I go by what you say there, Art. This is Bill.
Welcome to the meeting, Bill.
Thank you, Dale. Thank you very much on Facebook and web streaming. I went in there and I couldn't do anything. I finally cut and paste to Zoom and got in. So
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. So we need a motion on that, Dale,
Yes.
to make that change. Oh,
So,
let's have we'll have a motion to delete the medals and decorations line on the Veteran of the Year form and add appropriate contact information for anyone requiring a DD 214.
I second it.
Can I have somebody make a motion on that?
I'll make a
Almost.
motion to do
Yeah.
those changes.
I second.
Who is the
Did
second?
you
I'm
get a
sorry.
roll call on that, Dale?
I got it. Oh, yes, I will do that. Chair Ebright,
Aye.
Vice Chair Choi,
Aye.
Commissioner Ramos,
Aye.
Commissioner Travis,
Aye.
Commissioner Devereaux.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, honoring Milpitas veterans. At the last Veterans Commission meeting, the subcommittee of Commissioner Ebright, Commissioner Ramos, Commissioner Choi was formed to move forward on this project. The committee was able to find a sample of the dedication from the city of Livermore. Recommendation council for consideration. Okay. The item we're talking about is a memorial display that's similar to this guy right here. They're essentially engraved bricks. And the engraved bricks are dedicated to different military personnel, deceased, and they could be alive. Memorial bricks. The company that handles these things is, believe it or not, a company called Bricks R Us. They're located in Florida, and they've been doing this for over 30 years. And the brick we're looking at is 4 by 8, and it's a 1/2 inch thick. And they're $19 a piece. Okay, that includes the brick, that includes the engraving, and that includes the shipping. The brick itself is called a finished brick. There are different kinds of bricks, but their most popular brick is a finished brick. That's a brick that's smooth on the top and it's beveled around the edges. And it looks quite nice when it's in a display. Again, let me put that display up there. You can see what the bricks kind of look like there. Okay. The engraving included in that price, the engraving can be up to 4 different lines on that brick. And the information is would contain the individual's name, rank, branch of service, years of service, and they could also have on there a particular conflict, for example, Korean War or something like that. And like I said, the cost of the engraving is okay. And we had a sample order form that shows how that would operate for anyone who wanted to purchase a brick. And we were looking at about $40 to purchase a brick. And that brick would be ordered and we put in a display. And we were looking at this formula display. These bricks, if they're mounted horizontally, are actually just mounted on a bed of sand. Or if they're mounted vertically, they can be stuck on a wall with some kind of a mastic type adhesive. I'm not an expert at this, but brick masons and people like that know what that stuff is. And the area that this display would be down there near the Veterans Circle down there where all the flags are. There's a wall there leading up to City Hall. And also there's a fairly large open ground area that's full of plants right now that could be changed over to form a horizontal display of these bricks. And so that's what we've come up with. I don't know if we could go any further with that without actually starting buying the bricks. So we need to have some kind of approval from the city council to create a display of this type. Does anybody have any questions on this? Again, this is a subject that came up some time ago in the Veterans Commission about forming some kind of a memorial display for current and deceased veterans. And this is one way to do it with this brick display. And it's pretty impressive. The one that I refer to, which is located over in Livermore, it's at the Veterans Building over there. And if you haven't been over to look at it, it'd be worth your while to go over and take a look at it. It's a very, very nice looking display that they have over there. Anybody have any comments?
I do. Could you give that address for the place in Livermore to Dale so he can put it out to people so we can pay a visit to that site?
What's that again?
You
Could you
have the
repeat that?
address for the display of the veterans in Livermore.
It's, I could probably find it. I don't have it at my fingertips right now. L Street is one of the cross streets. I don't remember the other street. So
Chair, I'll find the
VFW
information and
Veterans
mail-
Memorial Building.
Chair, I'll get the information and email it to the commissioners.
Thank you. Thank you, Dale.
Okay, so we need to make a motion, and then second, if we want to move forward with this and put a presentation together for city council.
Okay, can I have somebody make a motion to present this information to the city council?
Ms. Bill, I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second that.
okay, Dale, you need to make a call,
I will.
roll call.
Chair Ebright,
Aye,
Vice Chair Choi,
Aye.
Commissioner Ramos,
Aye.
Commissioner Devereaux,
Aye.
and Commissioner Travis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I just want to say this is fantastic, and our city council deeply honors and respects our veterans. I can't wait for this to get to the council.
and I also have that address here. It's at the corner of 5th and L Streets in Livermore. Did you get that, Bill?
Yes, 5th and L Street.
5th and L Streets in Livermore.
Okay, I go wine tasting there, so I can stop by.
Okay, next item.
Okay, we're done with that. Liaison reports, city council, anything? No, the mayor already addressed. Does she have anything else to add, Mayor?
No, sir.
Okay. Dale, anything?
I have no staff reports. All I would like to do is wish each and every one of you a happy holidays. We'll see you after the first end of the year, so be safe out there and enjoy your time.
Okay, and Dale, are you gonna put something together to present to city council, or how are we gonna do that?
Yes, I'll send it to you before I present it to the city council, so you can look at it. Because
Okay.
I'll probably have you or the vice chair help present it to city
Okay.
council.
Okay, if you need me to come in and look at something, just let me know.
No, coming in. I will do it electronically to you, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, well, I think we're done on this particular meeting then. So if there are no other comments, going, okay. I'd like to declare this meeting adjourned. Till next time. Bye-bye. all.
Bye, everybody.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, guys.
Mm.